Did you ever meet anybody more brutal than your uncle?
No, not as crazy as him. There was guys that killed a lot of people and all, but he enjoyed it. He really, really enjoyed it, and he liked doing it because he liked the reputation. After I got arrested for the Pepe Leva murder, an article came out by this guy, Mike Sherman, and they called me Crazy Phil, and I got upset about that. I said, what are they calling me Crazy Phil for? And my uncle said, shut up. He said, guys would pay money to have a nickname like that. All right, that's the way he thought.
Purely a reputation guy.
Yeah.
Now, was he a fighter as well or no? Because I know he did some kind of amateur boxing early on.
Yeah, he did amateur boxing.
Nothing.
No.
So you never saw him fight or, get into it with people? If it was,
well,
he was going to...
Yeah, we beat a few people up, me and him, yeah.
You did?
Yeah, a couple of guys, a fella that bothered somebody that lived at my grandmother's apartment. We beat him up, and a couple of people we had problems with.
So you were talking about earlier when you said, it got to a point where you were no longer enjoying working with your uncle. Turning point you said was Salvi, and then after the turning point, you're still doing business as usual. What leads to you deciding to turn?
Everything, like after Salvi went, like everybody really got scared about everything. Things weren't going good. Everybody, like the Crow got indicted and Tommy Dell, and they started to cooperate, and we got indicted, and I got so disgusted. I said, I'm thinking to myself, if I beat this case, I'm gone. As soon as I get out, I'm leaving. I'm taking my mother and my girlfriend, and we're heading out. And it just didn't work. I thought I was going to. We won the first two cases, but we lost the last case. But I was disgusted. I had it with him because during that time, during that federal case, Mark, my cousin Mark, my uncle's son, hung himself. And the reason he hung himself because his father wanted him to be involved with the mob. And the kid didn't want nothing to do with the mob. The kid was a legitimate kid. He was a sports kid, nice kid. He didn't want nothing to do with anything. And the father kept calling him names. You're a jerk off if you do that. If you play sports, you're a jerk off. And
why though? Why is he saying that stuff to his kid?
Because he thought the kid should be like him and be a mob guy. And the kid didn't want to be a mob guy. So the kid not only hung himself, he left a note saying why he did it. He couldn't take his father no more, all the pressure. And he signed it. Your jerk-off son, Mark.
Come on.
Yeah.
Who was the first person that saw him?
My mom. It was in the bathroom downstairs. And what he did, he laid out all pictures of me and him and on the bed before he did it.
How much longer after that did he die?
He lived a long time in a coma. It was horrible. I told my uncle, I said, look, he blamed my mother for him hanging him. That was another thing.
Your uncle blamed your mother?
He blamed my mother for Mark hanging himself. He said, your mother always hollered at him. I used to see the vein in her neck coming out when she would holler at Mark. I said, my mom didn't holler. No. I said, oh my God. I couldn't say nothing. And he's hollering at me in front of everybody. We're in a cell coming back from court. And naturally he told my mother to get rid of the note. He said, throw it away. So I said, I told my mom, but I didn't see her right away. I said, don't throw that note away, keep it. She says, I already threw it away. But she told me what was on it. It was horrible. So
you never confronted him? You've never confronted your uncle?
No.
Ever?
No. The only time I got upset one time with him, Scarf Inc., my company I had, paid for a lot of stuff, airline tickets, everything, wherever we went. And I said, we should put some money into the Scarf Inc., make it legitimate, He said, fuck Scarf Inc. I said, fuck Scarf Inc. I said, it's paying for everything. I said, I must be the biggest jerk off around here. Oh man, I really got upset that time, but that was it, that's all I said.
What was his reaction?
He didn't say anything, he didn't say nothing.
So because you didn't do it often, he took it?
Yeah.
Did you ever want to take him out?
I did, yeah, actually I did. After this, with Salvi, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't warn Sal because he would start a war, start shooting it up and all, and I wouldn't know what to do. So I'm figuring every time we're in the car, when we're back from Philadelphia, we always pull off the road. We drive somewhere into the woods and walk far from the car where nobody's around. I figured it would be a good spot to kill him. Then I'm thinking, then my grandmother, what am I going to tell my grandmother? Not that she got along with him. Nobody got along with him, but still, I just couldn't do it. But I thought about a few different spots to kill him.
Every time you wanted to kill him, you went to your grandma? Is that what you thought about?
No, I didn't go to her.
Meaning in your mind, you're going to, you're going to have to face your grandma?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why you didn't want to pull the trigger. Was it very close to that taking place? Were you
oh yeah, because I already knew where we would go and the spots I would do it in. But I fear.
What would have happened if you did? What would have changed?
What would have changed?
Yeah.
I would have left because there's no way I was going to go to New York and explain what happened to him.
Because you're done.
I wouldn't have done that. I was gone. I would have killed him and then left with my mother and my son and my wife.
You don't think they would have caught you no matter where you would have gone?
I would have to say no.
Really?
I would have to, yeah, I don't think they would have.
Because you have a place in your mind that you don't think they would have gone to?
I would think, yeah. I would think, I'm pretty careful, and as far as looking for me, I mean, it's not like I'm around doing business with people where they could get their hands on me. Number one, they have to find out who killed them. How would they know who killed them?
But if you don't go to New York to sit with them, they know
They
it's
might
gonna be
get an
you.
idea.
Yeah, they would get an idea it's you. If you face them, that could be a reason to say, I'm not scared. So I'm only thinking about, like, what was the breaking point for you to say, I'm not taking this anymore?
That was it. I mean, the way he was going off the board. It was crazy.
So now you guys get convicted, right? This is now you're going through court now.
Yeah.
What led to that? What led to the point where you know you're going to go face your 45 years, after the 10 murders you're facing? What led to that?
Well, between Salvi getting killed and Mark hanging himself, I said, what are we doing here? I mean, we're killing ourselves. I talked to my mother. I said, look, of course, I needed her okay to do this. I said, I'm going to cooperate, and we'll get out of here. We'll get away from this screwball. She said, yeah, good. I'm glad. Do it. So that's what I did. I called up Jim Marr, who was an FBI agent. I said, Jim, do you know who this is? He said, no. So I said, I thought you were a voice expert. So I told him who it was, and I like to talk to them and all that. And we set it up,
Jim Marr, was there also a fellow named Klaus or
Klaus Rohr? He was the head guy. He was a great man.
So he was a great man.
Yeah,
okay.
He was the head guy that was the head of that unit there. He was good.
So he delivered on his promises to you. Right?
Everything. All of them guys did.
Got
All
it.
of them guys did.
So when you met with him, how quickly did you cooperate after that? And
Right
was
after-
this the time when you were in jail when you made the phone call, or
Yes,
no?
I was in jail.
Oh, so you had already gone to jail. So both you and Nicky at this point are arrested. You're
We're
in prison.
arrested. I'm waiting to get sentenced, actually.
You're waiting to get sentenced.
So they would say, wait till after sentencing, and then we'll talk.
So he's completely else. Where is he at? Where are you at?
He was in one prison in Philadelphia, but I don't know. I might have been in Holmesburg at that time.
You don't remember?
One of the prisons in Philly.
I mean, it sounds like you've been a couple different places. So you
I
know.
was in a few different places.
Yeah. So you can't remember which one it was. But he definitely wasn't at the same one you were at.
No,
Okay.
not at that time. No.
Are you in communication with him at the time or no? So
well,
what?
through Nicky. If Nicky would come visit us, he would send messages.
Nicky, his son.
His son. Nicky.
Okay. Outside of his son, Nicky, what's the last conversation you and him had? Actual conversation that you and your uncle had?
Last one was him yelling to me about something with Bobby Simone to tell him to get on the case, our appeals and all. This was after.
Bobby, your attorney. Bobby, the attorney.
Bobby Simone, yeah,
Sure.
the attorney. And as he was telling that, they were closing the door.
Last thing you remember.
Last thing. That was it. That's the last time I seen him.
And what year was that?
89. Wow.
Wow, 1989, 31 years ago. So then you go to Jim, you tell him, hey, I'm willing to cooperate.
Yeah.
How quickly is a decision made then? Are you
Well, they
negotiating
come-
with them and you're saying, if I do this, what will you do for me? Is this
No, I
kind
didn't
of,
say that. I didn't
how did
say
that take place? How did that event take place?
I said, you know, I'm looking to cooperate, and are you interested? He said, yeah. So they came and picked me up. The marshals came to Otisville, where I was at that time, and picked me up, and that was it. And they took me, and from there I started to cooperate with them.
So they're not negotiating at all
I
with
didn't
you?
negotiate anything about time or stuff like that. Hopefully, I told them I hope you could do something with my sentence and all. I just talked to them about everything before any papers were signed or anything.
So then you're going back and forth. Is this when, you took this approach, and then what were some of the leaders and bosses that were affected by you being an informant, by you coming out and talking?
Well, I testified in the Windows case in New York with Charlie Rose. He was the prosecutor at that time. He was another nice man that passed away. He was a good guy. I testified at a couple different families in Connecticut. I testified. Trying to think. There's so many cases.
I read an article somewhere that John Gotti was also affected by it.
John Gotti, I was supposed to testify against him. This is what they did. They brought me to New York to testify in that trial, but they wanted to see how Sammy did first. And Sammy knocked it out of the ballpark, so I didn't testify.
So you went first. You were the highest ranking member to come out and be an informant. And then how much longer after you went out, Sammy came out?
A couple years.
2 years. Okay. Got it. 2 years. Were you in communication with each other at all at that time or no?
While I
Was Sammy reaching out to you?
No. While I
Okay.
was cooperating?
While you were
Yeah,
cooperating? Not at all.
No.
And so you cooperate, then they reduce it from 45 years to 5 years.
To 6.5. I wound up serving 5 years, 5 months, and 5 days.
Intentional? Was that
Well, with
intentional
good
or
time.
accidental? The fact that it's 5 years, 5 months, 5 years.
That's the way it worked out. That's with good time. That's what I served.
5 years, 5 months, 5 days. Very interesting. So while you were you in with anybody else?
While I was in, I wound up a few different guys, a couple guys from New York, drug dealers and all that. But I met Sammy. Sammy came there for a little bit. I was with him.
How long were you guys together?
Had to be a year, I bet.
Were you guys every day together talking?
Yeah, it was
spending
good.
time?
It was great.
Really?
It was great.
And you
Loved
guys
it.
are both pretty much in the same situation.
Yeah. It was
Wow.
good. It was really good. The time went by with him. It went by really fast.
He's a great storyteller.
He's great.
He's very entertaining.
He is great. And then Gino Milano showed up there. Other guys I talked that were other prisons, I talked to them on the phone.
While you were in, did anybody bother you or no?
No.
Did they know who you were?
Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to cross you?
Yeah, nobody bothered me.
Nobody bothered
No. It wasn't that type of prison anyway.
Okay.
You know, everybody
Got it.
there is a cooperator and also.
Oh, I got it. So everybody's
know.
cooperating. So they're almost
Yeah.
trying to find a way to protect all of you.
Yeah.
Because everyone's somehow
Yeah.
cooperating.
Right.
Okay. So when you came out, when you're in there, what are you thinking? When I get out, I'm never going back to the life.
Oh,
I don't want any
definitely
of it.
not.
I'm done.
I was way done.
100%.
100%. I got out, I hooked up with my wife and my mom and my son. We moved and I started, working and everything's working out. It's so much better where I could sleep at night and I have nobody bothering me. What a great life it is being not in the mob.
What a great life it is being not in the mob.
Yeah.
How did you prevent your own son from not wanting to take that route?
By cooperating. Philip was really good in math, my son. My uncle told me, we'll make him a bookmaker. I said, yeah, I don't think so. No.
You told him,
yeah,
I don't
I
think
said,
so?
Yeah, I don't, let him go to school. But, that's what he wants to do with all our family. He wants to get him hooked up in the mob. And
So your son was
it.
never like, I kind of want that fear, the way they respected you, Dad, and what if this? And
he was going to school, and in the school, my name would be in the paper, the same name as him. I mean, you have problems with the kids, and they'd give him a hard time because of who I was, It was bad. He couldn't go, he couldn't concentrate in school. It was a mess. It was a problem. So the best thing to do was get out of there. It worked out for everybody.
Get out of there and go to a complete different place, clean
Get out
slate,
of the mob,
nothing.
start all over again.
This is when you went into not wanting to show your face, no voice, no nothing. When's the
Yes.
last time you woke up in the morning worried about your life?
Never.
Never, since you left.
No, the only time I worried about my life was I had kidney cancer in my right kidney, and they took it out. My doctor from Italy, and that was it. It was fine. It was 10 years ago.
What'd you feel like when your uncle died in 2017? What did
No
you,
feeling at all. Nobody's going to miss him. That's what he would say about everybody that died. Nobody would miss him. I don't even think about him. I wish he would have lived 100 years just in the position he was in. I wish he would have made his full term.
when you're by yourself and no one's around, and you're kind of reflecting, thinking about him, the fact that your father wasn't in the picture, he kind of replaced that you have some kind of a loyalty to him, or not at all? You know,
To
take the role of your father.
initiative of
Yeah.
making me a mob
Yeah.
guy and a killer and all that, no, I have no
Zero.
loyalty at all.
At all.
At all.
So
No.
that shifted for you as you were going through it.
At all. I mean, look what he did. I mean, it's not only his fault, it's my fault too. I went along with him. And, you know, I'm not saying, but he showed me the ropes, he showed me what to do, and made me a pretty good, assassin.